Hello, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about how to calculate prenatal human chi for use in BaZi analysis. So, prenatal human chi is one of the three prenatal essentials, notably the prenatal earthly chi, which relates to ancestry, the prenatal heavenly chi, which relates to our birth chart, and then prenatal human chi is the in utero completion or the gestation time, if you will. Now, each of the three essentials has five element qualities that we can analyze and assess. And then the interactions of those particular three essentials actually help us to understand what a person's prenatal chi is or what a person's constitution is. Now, the postnatal chi also has three essentials, basically the postnatal earthly chi, the postnatal human chi, and the postnatal heavenly chi. Postnatal earthly chi would be the feng shui aspects of where a person's living, the environments they're spending time in. Postnatal human chi is their behavior, their yang sheng fa, their interactions with people, the foods they eat, the activities they do, the people they meet, etc. And then postnatal heavenly chi is the chi of the calendar, the dynamic chi of time. Now, just like the three essentials of prenatal chi, the three essentials of postnatal chi can interact with one another and combine to form a particular quality of chi in a given place, in a given activity, or with given people at a given time. Now, the three prenatal chi, they combine and they actually interact with the combined effects of the three postnatal chi. And together, the threshold of interaction, if you will, is where the true chi is formed, or where some people call it yuan chi is formed. So our true chi or our yuan chi is essentially the product of our prenatal chi interacting with the postnatal chi. Now, the prenatal chi, all of the prenatal chi are unchangeable. We can't change our ancestry. We can't change the gestation time or the amount of time we spent in the womb, and we can't change the time at which we were born. Likewise, on the postnatal side of things, we cannot change the chi of time. And so this is why it becomes very, very important to be able to analyze and calculate these four different aspects: the prenatal chi of heaven, human, and earth, as well as the postnatal chi of heaven. Because since we cannot change them, it is very important for us to be able to keep track of them. Now, why? Because although we cannot change those things, the postnatal human chi, or the yang sheng fa, and the postnatal earthly chi, or the feng shui, those are changeable. We can change where we live. We can change the environment that we spend time in. We can change the things that we do and the foods that we eat and the people that we meet. And so, if we know the qualities of the prenatal chi and the postnatal heavenly chi, then we can adapt by making choices in the postnatal human chi and the postnatal earthly chi that will create a harmonious exchange, or that will create a balance with the unchangeable aspects of our experience. Now, a lot of BaZi practitioners already understand how to calculate the birth chart. They understand how to track the postnatal heavenly chi of time. They even understand how to adapt with postnatal human chi and postnatal earthly chi. But the calculation of prenatal human chi and prenatal earthly chi is a little bit less well known. And as you can see, it's integral to having a full picture that we need to actually properly adjust the postnatal human chi and the postnatal earthly chi so that we have that balance and harmony. So today we're going to be talking about how to calculate prenatal human chi. So what we need to know when we're calculating prenatal human chi is gestation period. Now, gestation in Chinese medicine is a 10-month period. The average amount of time it takes for a pregnancy is 10 months in Chinese medicine. And that extra month is added to the beginning. So, for instance, if someone was born on April 13th, then what we would do is we would count backwards 10 months, starting at April 13th, and we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. So, in other words, conception would have occurred in the month of Wu, according to the 10-month model. Now, within those 10 months, we will have gone through 10 different branches. Right? We've gone through Wu, Wei, Shen, You, Shu, Hai, Zi, Chou, Yin, Mao, finally ending up into Chen. And within those 10 months, we will notice that we actually have a Sanhe, Shen, Zi, ending at Chen. And so this Sanhe can be said to have completed, okay, in this particular individual's gestation time. While they were in the womb, the water element was born, it reached its peak, and it completed in Chen, where they were born. And so we can say that they have the water Sanhe, which is fully formed. It is fully complete and fully matured, and therefore is an integral part of their development. So we can therefore say that the prenatal human qi of this particular individual born on April 13th is shui ren qi, or water human qi, because of this sanhe having been fully integrated or fully cycled during their time in the womb. Now, as far as the yin or yang polarity of that water is concerned, if it's a boy that is born, well, then they are simply assigned yang water. And if it's a girl that is born, then they are simply assigned yin water as their prenatal human qi. And you can, if you want, ascribe a heavenly stem to it. If you want, it's not necessary. Just knowing that it is yang water or yin water is generally enough. Now, within the 10-month model, every gestation or every pregnancy essentially contains a completed sanhe somewhere in there. So there is always the opportunity to assign a completed sanhe to a 10-month model. However, in the West, we use a 9-month gestation time, which is much closer to the actual length of time that a person is pregnant. And so therefore, if we look at the 9-month model, we'll see two things that can happen. So if we're looking at the same birthday of April 13th, except we're looking at a 9-month model, this means that conception actually occurred in Wei month, or the month of July. And yet, even in this 9-month model, we see we have Shen, Zi, and Chen. So we have yet again a Sanhe Shui, which is fully generated and fully completed. So even within a 9-month gestation time, the opportunity for a Sanhe to attain completion absolutely exists. However, the 9-month model also allows for incomplete sanhe. So, for example, let's look at someone born March 10th. The 9-month model would place the time of conception in the month of June, in Wu month. And we see that there are actually 2 sanhe that are just absolutely incomplete because the 2 branches necessary to complete them are outside of the gestation time, and that would be Si, You, and Chou for metal, and Shen, Zi, Chen for water. So water and metal are incomplete in this particular gestation time. However, we do have Yin, Wu, and Shu within the gestation time, and we also have Hai, Mao, and Wei within the gestation time. However, the flow is incorrect for them to be complete. You'll notice that for Hai, Mao, and Wei to be completed, we have Hai, the beginning of the wood sanhe, starting within the gestation time. And then we have Mao, which of course is the month of birth. And then Wei, unfortunately, is actually in the gestation time that is prior to Hai. So, in other words, we are missing the completion of Hai Mao Wei. Likewise, we have Wu and Shu. So, for the Sanhe of fire, we also have Yin, but again, they are out of order. We would need the Sanhe to start with Yin and then continue through gestation into Wu and then finish with Shu before gestation is complete. And we can see that we're actually tracking through past the births in both of these Sanhe. So neither the fire Sanhe or the wood Sanhe exist either. So in a sense, there are no Sanhe that are completed for this person who's born on March 10th with a 9-month gestation. Now, does this mean that they have no element? No, it doesn't. What it does mean is that their element is the element that has no Sanhe, at least in modern understanding of BaZi, and that is earth. So their human chi would actually be earth human chi. So anyone who has had a gestation period and is born at such a time where their gestation period does not include a Sanhe, then they are assigned the earth element as their prenatal human chi. And if there is a Sanhe, then it is the Sanhe that actually determines the prenatal human chi elemental quality. Again, if it was a boy, then they would receive Yang Earth as their prenatal human chi. And if it was a girl, then they would receive Yin Earth as their prenatal human chi. So how is this used, or what makes this useful? Well, it's especially useful in the context of health. So if we know the prenatal heavenly chi of a person, or the BaZi of a person, their birth chart, and we know that their chart is a strong water chart, and we also happen to know that their prenatal human chi, or the element of their human chi based on their gestation time, is also water. It could even be metal, but let's stick with water as the example. Then since water would be Jishen based on their BaZi, then that means that the prenatal human chi of water is actually Jishen to them. So it means that they are at a higher risk of kidney and bladder system diseases, especially if water elements come into play in the postnatal heavenly, human, or earth levels. So either in the calendar, in their behavior and activities, and in their feng shui. So the strong water of the BaZi birth chart combined with the strong water of the human chi, of the prenatal human chi, basically takes them to what we could consider to be already a very high risk zone of having problems relating to the water element. And if any more water comes in, then it's almost a guarantee that they're going to have some kind of issue with the kidney and bladder system. Now, on the other hand, if someone has a weak water birth chart and their prenatal human chi is water, or again metal, then this is actually very auspicious, because the weak water of the chart makes water yongshen, or useful. And so therefore we want water to appear in this person's other aspects of their life and experience. So having prenatal human chi of water is very supportive. And so therefore this person actually has a low risk of kidney and bladder system diseases. It's very protective for them. So even though there may be times in the calendar where water is very weak, or there may be aspects of their yang shengfa or their feng shui which are very absent of water, the prenatal human chi, being water or again metal, actually supports the weak water chart and reduces the risk of there being kidney and bladder system diseases. Now, if someone has a strong water birth chart and their prenatal human chi is something other than water, so let's say wood or fire, or even earth in some cases, then what we can say is that the strong water birth chart, because the useful elements actually are the things that deplete it, such as wood, fire, and earth, then this prenatal human chi actually takes a lot of pressure off of that water chart. And so this person actually has a lower risk of kidney and bladder system diseases because of their prenatal human chi. Now, on the flip side, someone with a weak water chart, if their prenatal human chi is wood, fire, or sometimes earth, then this is actually weakening the water even more. And so they are at even greater risk of disease. And so for weak water charts, having a prenatal human chi that is of a jishen or a harmful nature, that actually increases the risk of water-related diseases again. And so this is one way that we can actually incorporate the prenatal human chi calculation into the overall prenatal chi calculation to therefore better understand what's going to happen when this individual encounters either calendrical postnatal chi that are harmful or useful, or postnatal human chi of in the yang sheng fa category that are harmful or useful, or postnatal earthly chi such as feng shui that are harmful or useful. In some cases, it might not necessarily be as bad as you think, because although there may be harmful aspects in the postnatal realm, the prenatal human chi may actually be guarding against some of those detrimental effects. Whereas in other cases, there may be some postnatal harmful chi that are appearing, which you may not necessarily put too much value or too much importance on, when in fact the prenatal human chi is actually also contributing to the weakened or the overstrong aspects of the chart, and therefore the risk of disease is actually much higher than you think it is. So, hope that was interesting for you. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments down below. Yeah, let me know how you guys are using the prenatal human chi calculation.